Hey guys, what's up? This is Booking Bronco with another Booksy Biz tutorial. So today we are going to get into payouts specifically. So payouts, not payment methods, not anything else besides payouts. When I say payouts, that means how do you transfer the money that you are accumulating inside of Booksy to your bank account. So just to reiterate, this is not customer to you video. This is going to be a video of how do you get your money that's inside of Booksy to your account. So let's just dive right in. If you're using any sort of Booksy pay methods, so when I say that, I'm going into settings and payments and checkout. You see here mostly mobile payments, but also tap to pay and Booksy card reader. These are going to be all the ways that you could use Booksy's payment methods to start accumulating money inside of your Booksy account. So I'm not going to get into that. That already has a separate video, which I will link in the description below. Today, we are going to talk about payouts. So what are we going to do? First, you should probably go to your business wallet here, front and center on the profile page to see if you have any money to transfer. This is going to say whatever you have in here. I don't have any money, so that's why it says 0. But if you did, this is where you would find it. But how do you get it to your bank account? For that, you're going to have to go to Profile, Settings, Payments and Checkout, and you're going to go down close to the bottom until you get to Account Verification. I'm going to assume your account was already verified because it does need to be verified in order to use any of those Booksy payment methods. So we're going to assume that this says verified and account verification. We're going to go to Payout Settings. And inside here, inside of Payout Settings, you can set a daily fast payout limit. That's just for security protocols. But today we are going to look at the Payout Details. So the Payout Details, payout method, this is where you're going to go to add either one of two things. It can either be a bank account. I highly recommend a checking account. I've seen issues if you try to link a savings account. So if you're going to go with a bank account, you're going to want to use a checking account. All you should need is the routing number and the account number. Your other option for a payout method is going to be a debit card, which will link to a checking account. So pretty much the same, but some people prefer a debit card. That is going to be important because depending on which you add will influence which payout type you can use. I'll get to that in just a moment, but just bear in mind, this is where you're going to add payout, either a bank account or a debit card. So you would go in here, you'd add the information, and then your payout method would appear here. So that's actually adding the payout settings. Now, what are the ways that you can actually go about getting paid? So if we go back to the main profile page and go to Business Wallet, you're going to see here that it says Fast Payout. So in terms of the different payout transfer types, there's two. One is going to be the standard payout, which is automatically sent the next business day for free. So just to clarify, guys, there's the standard payout and then the fast payout, which you can see here. That is only going to work with a connected debit card. That's what I was alluding to earlier. So if you want to use fast payout, that is going to be sent anywhere from immediately, generally does transfer immediately, can take up to 30 minutes, and it has a 1.5% fee. So that's the big difference. It does have to be initiated manually. Obviously, the standard payout, the free one that arrives the next business day, is set on an automatic schedule. So it's just going to be sending every day, as opposed to the fast payout. Let's say you need the money right away. So you're going to have to, one, have that debit card connected, and then two, you'll have to manually come here and initiate the fast payout. So to go back to the standard payout, if the money is collected after 7 p.m. Central Time, the US Central Time, then that is going to be considered collected on the next day. So for example, if you collect a payment at 10 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock Central Time, that's not going to transfer the next day. That will be, for all purposes of our discussion, that could be considered as collected on the next day, which means it's not going to be sent out until the next day. And depending on how your bank is, it might not register until, who knows, the next day. So let's illustrate this with an example. You collected at 12 o'clock noon Central Time on Tuesday. That is going to be sent the next day on Wednesday. And then depending on how fast your bank is, you should see it either that day or ideally the next day. But let's say you collected at 10 or 11 o'clock at night Central Time on Tuesday. That is not going to be sent Wednesday. It's going to be sent Thursday. And then like we talked about, it might not, depending on how your bank is, it might not register until Friday. So that's why if you're not using the fast payout, it might take a few days depending on when it was collected from the time that you receive it till it actually lands in your bank account. So keep that in mind. That's the whole idea of the fast payout. Some people, they want their money now and they're willing to pay that 1.5% fee. Only other thing that I want to mention before we finish this video is the first payout. So this is just standard protocol for finance stuff. Typically, the first payout is going to take longer. So if you just started your account and you just started receiving money and you're waiting for the first standard payout to be sent out, it might take longer, could take even up to 7 days. So keep that in mind. If you're a new account, you just activated one of the payment methods and you're waiting for that standard payout to be sent and activated, just give it time. Give it a few days. If you've given it several days, up to a week, I would even say a little bit longer, and it still hasn't been sent, that's probably the time at which you need to call someone and get in contact. But generally speaking, that is going to be all how that works for the payout section, guys. Pretty simple. Just to review, 2 different payout methods you can add. One can be the bank account, recommended checking account. The other is going to be a debit card. And then 2 different payout types. One is going to be the standard payout, next business day for free. The other one is going to be the fast payout, and that can be immediately up to 30 minutes, 1.5% fee, and does have to be to a connected debit card. That's everything that we should know for payout. Nothing too complicated today, guys, but I get enough questions about this that I felt it was worth making its own video specifically talking about this. And I mean, who doesn't want to get their money? So I get it. It's an important topic. So that's why I made this video. As I said, the other video I made all about point of sale, payment methods, stuff like that, which does also mention payout details in much less detail, of course. I'm going to link that in the description below. So if you thought this video was interesting and you have not seen that video, I would definitely recommend checking out that one as well. Definitely has a lot of really good information talking about all the other options you have inside of Booksy, and definitely delves a lot more into this payments and checkout section. So keep that in mind. As always, guys, I do appreciate your time. If you got something out of this video, please like and subscribe. That does help me out. I have a referral link down below that will let you get 50% off your first 2 months using Booksy if you're thinking of subscribing. And besides that, thanks for your time. I'll see you in the next one.